the hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Let's take it from the top. Wasim, Travis Head and Sunil Narayan is what we pick as our openers. Where do you stand on that?
I have to agree. I think they both have been in blazing form. Sunil Narayan does give you that bowling options also. So he's probably the second most important player in my view after Jasprit Bumrah. So he has to be there. Who won't have Travis Head in the 11 to start like he does? So yeah, I completely agree with that.
Anyone disagreeing?
No, I can't disagree with that, but I'm sure my colleague can.
No, I agree.
Oh, wow.
All three ways. The selection committee doesn't operate that way,
okay, sorry.
So, we're supposed to work together on this.
I'm learning. Okay.
Yeah, slowly.
Yeah, the battle lines are drawn when you get into the impact zone. Right now, you are a team. So, all right, we have the openers in Travis Head and Sunil Narayan, both of them touching strike rates of 200. For Head, it is in excess of 200. At number 3, now this is where we had to think a little because keeping in mind the overseas complement, you see a lot of Indian batters there from 3 to 5. We'll focus on the finishers later. But at 3, 4 and 5, we've got Sanju Samson, who also triples up, in fact, as keeper and captain, Riyan Parag and Shivam Dube. Tom, your thoughts on that middle order?
Yeah, look, I'm happy with that 3. I like the fact there's a left-hander in there as well. If we're really, going into trying to pick a proper 11, obviously the obvious admission there is the leading run scorer so far in the tournament, that's Virat Kohli. But given the balance of the side and given that you've got to try to find a position for your wicketkeeper, Sanju Samson is the standout top-order wicketkeeper batter at the moment. And also, given that he holds a captaincy role position and he's got his side at the top end of the table, he deserves that recognition at this stage of the tournament.
Right. So, Samson, Parag, Dube, anywhere you differ in numbers 3 to 5?
No, you brought up Virat Kohli. I think that's you've got to bring that up in terms of what he's done, in terms of aggregate that he's scored so far. It's just, again, what Tom says. You've got to find a spot for the keeper. And it's maybe something we can discuss a little bit further down.
Wasim?
I'll probably have Virat Kohli at 3. And probably we've got Ashutosh in that side. I'll probably get Dinesh Karthik in there with the kind of form that he's in as a wicketkeeper.
Okay, so you are going in with Dinesh Karthik as the wicketkeeper. So, all right, Mitch, if you were to discuss the wicketkeepers, which you alluded to, are there any others who you're thinking of?
No, it's between those two, in my opinion, because I think we're going to go with Shivam Dube as the left-hander in the middle order there. I think Riyan Parag deserves his spot in this side with the impact that he's had, and so there's only a couple of slots there. So, yeah, I'll probably be steering the similar either Samson or DK because of the roles that we're trying to fit.
Yeah, I was going to ask my colleague here, my fellow selector, who's going to captain in that scenario then? You haven't got an IPL captain in your 11.
I'm going to give it to Jasprit Bumrah.
Okay, so you're giving it to a non-captain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, an international captain.
Okay. No, but a non-IPL captain.
Yeah.
That's left.
Okay, I'm quite happy with that, to second your opinion, as long as my, irritated colleague here is happy.
I guess
we're happy with all of you giving us different 11s as well.
No, I guess the conversation is that do you split up a form finishing pair in Ashutosh and Shashank? That's the other consideration. If you have Samson, then Shashank comes into that consideration, and maybe someone like a Russell misses out for a Pat Cummins because the hole in this side is the new ball bowling. You have Narayan to be able to take the new ball, potentially, but then otherwise you've only got Bumrah. Harirana doesn't take the new ball, and Andre Russell doesn't take the new ball. So we're missing a new ball seamer, which in turn would mean that Chahal would miss out, in my opinion.
So
a few moving parts.
Let's start looking at the bowling then, and perhaps then based on the overseas complement, we can revisit some of those middle order choices. Presently, our mix has Pathirana, Bumrah as the seamers, Russell as the third seamer, and Kuldeep and Chahal in the spin department. Are you changing anything in that bowling department?
I don't think you need Chahal, Kuldeep and Narayan. I think you need... Chahal misses out of those three, in my view. The person I would bring in, which doesn't totally solve what Mitch is saying, but he can bowl in the power play, is I'd bring in Natarajan. 10 wickets at economy of 8.5. And you've got Natarajan and Bumrah and Patharana to close the game, which is pretty spectacular. And I'd be using Narayan in this situation, 2 in the power play, given I've got Kuldeep in the middle, and using both Patharana and Natarajan to bowl the 5th and 6th over out of the power play.
Right. So then let's revisit your middle order then in this case. So you have gone for Natarajan over Chahal.
Yes.
Are you changing anything between those numbers 3 to 7?
Yes. And I don't have Russell in my side.
All right.
Because I think that batting, particularly the length of the tail, I want the assurity and the quality of Klaasen. Klaasen, 268 runs, averaging 53.7, a strike rate 198. I can't ignore that. And massive amount of experience as a finisher. So I would be having him in at 5 or 6,
Okay.
alongside with Dubé. And if we're going with DK, Dinesh Karthik, to me, that's a spectacular finishing 3 with experience. And then you fall away quickly with your bowlers. You've got Kuldeep then coming at 8, and then your quick bowlers.
So then just take me through your 3 to 7. You're taking DK as well.
No, I'm happy to go with Wasim's suggestion there. You know,
Okay.
I was trying to get my head around how we could work that,
Yep.
and I don't mind that suggestion. I suppose there's a little bit of soft, sentimental side of me was looking at Ashutosh because I just love the story. But I think the reality is, if this is the final of the World Cup, you know, you can't go with that sentiment. You've got to go with hard facts and experience, and I think that is ticking all those boxes.
So Parag, Dubé, DK, Klaasen.
Well, not in that order, but yeah.
In whichever order,
Yes.
that's your 4 to 7. Mitch?
Yeah, look, I think just trying to clarify the parameters really, because we're picking a team at a tournament after 35 matches. So who's been the best performers? I think Ashutosh's name deserves to be in that conversation because he's been one of the best performers to date. And he's not going to play a World Cup tomorrow. So that would be my only consideration. Yep, I agree with you that if there was if you were picking a team to win the World Cup tomorrow, then he probably won't be there. But in terms of performances to date, I think he's done more than enough to satisfy that finisher role, particularly when we're looking at local players.
Wayne, was he?
Well, I kind of agree with him that there's only 2 fast bowlers, and I won't have Russell as well in my team. I'll have Klaasen, and also he's going to be a floater, and I'll have Pat Cummins to be on the second thought.
That's instead of Pathirana?
No, I won't have Yajwendra Chahal, and
You only allowed 4 overseas.
That takes you ahead on the overseas, doesn't it? Because you've got Head, Narayan, Klaasen,
oh yeah,
who will be missing. Head, Narayan,
Pat Cummins
Klaasen.
doesn't fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
have
I'll
both
probably
Pathirana.
go with Klaasen instead of Russell,
All right.
and Chahal obviously misses out.
Just on the Klaasen and the Ashutosh point that you made, Klaasen's got over 100 more runs than him. So if we're going on form, forgetting about a young kid sort of lighting up the tournament, Klaasen has got considerably more runs at a higher strike rate.
Fair enough.
That's why I've made that call.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So, Mitch, are you in line
Now,
with your
Ashutosh has got about
co-selectors?
just over 150 runs. Klaasen's got 268 in winning causes.
Mitch, are we convinced?
No, it's just in terms of the balance of the side, isn't it? I can see Tom's point. The only concern, and then you've had to find a local seamer, right?
Instead of Chahal, because I
Instead
felt the
of
3
Chahal.
spinners were too many.
Yeah, it is too many. So 3 spinners.
Particularly when you've got Travis Head, if you do play on an absolute Bunsen burner, you've got Travis Head that can bowl some offies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and considering
And
all of
Parag.
you do have Riyan Parag, that's an option as well.
And you've got Dubé to bowl a few mediums. So you've got a 6th, 7th, and 8th bowling option. You've got 5 specialists and you've got 3 part-time.
Yeah, I think Klaasen deserves to be in that side.
Right. So
Yeah.
let's pull that 11 up again, which we'd drawn up earlier. So where do we have consensus? We had consensus on the openers with Head and Narayan. Bumrah, Kuldeep Yadav and Pathirana fall in all the 11s, as do Riyan Parag and Shivam Dube. We're going with Dinesh Karthik and Heinrich Klaasen ahead of Ashutosh Sharma and Andre Russell. And number 3 is where the final call. Is it Sanju Samson? Is it Virat Kohli, who hasn't batted number 3 so far?
I'll go with Virat.
Wasim has Kohli. Tom?
Yeah, I'm happy with the Virat vote.
All right.
Leading run scorer comfortably.
We'll go with a split decision there.
So,
But
Samson.
I'll listen to my superiors.
No,
No, a split decision. That's fine.
It's not like that. But remember, when we walk out of this room,
100%.
we're all on the same page.
100%.
That's what you always say as a selection committee. I don't want you in the back there around a coffee saying, "I knew you should have picked him." Can't believe Wasim went for Virat.
Yeah.
I know
and
how it works.
then Moods backed him up.
Yeah, not speaking to any
No,
reporters.
I know how it works. I know how it works. Yeah.
All right. So that was quite fun. I will take you through the 11 as picked by our timeout crew in unison. Travis Head and Sunil Narayan are the openers. We've got Virat Kohli batting at number 3, just ahead of Sanju Samson, who will make it to our squad. Riyan Parag, Shivam Dube form the middle order. Heinrich Klaasen features as well, along with Dinesh Karthik as wicketkeeper and finisher. And in the bowling, we've got Kuldeep Yadav with T. Natarajan, Jasprit Bumrah and Matisha Pathirana.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.